Really? You gotta be kidding me.
Carvana back in the news. What I was thinking we do here is our dear friend Igor posted this on the YAA community forum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get through the ad first. I'll share my screen. We'll listen to the first 30 seconds, minute of it, and then we'll come back and react to it. Sound good?
Yes, it does.
To a used car dealer selling cars customers cannot drive. The problem is they can't get the vehicles registered because the dealer can't provide the title or the permanent license plate. Investigator Amy Davis is here with what she's uncovered. Amy, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Carvana is still fairly new to the car dealer industry. The company's only been in Texas since 2016. So
Time out.
No haggle price.
Time out. Fairly new. Been in Texas for 5 years. 5 years. How do you even say fairly new to the retailer? They've had 5 years to figure this out. I mean, my God. I'm sorry. When I heard her say that, fairly new would be, if they started 2 weeks ago. 5 years. Oh my God!
And Pops, they sold. They're likely either the second or third largest volume used car dealer in the United States.
Yes, and
probably CarMax, AutoNation, and Carvana in some order. Those three.
Yeah, and as either the second or third largest purveyor of pre-owned cars in America, they haven't quite figured out how to title them yet.
Yeah, wait. Okay, let's play this back really quickly from the beginning. They're one of the top 3 largest used car dealers in the United States, and this is the intro to this news segment.
KPRC2 Investigates is looking into a used car dealer selling cars customers cannot drive. The problem is they can't get the vehicles registered because the dealer can't provide the title or the permanent license plate.
So my comment to this, Dad, if you heard that headline on the news, and it was like a used car lot that was doing that, you'd be like, okay, they got to get their blank together.
Their poop together.
This is the second or third largest used cars.
Well, wait a second. They start off, a dealer. Say the name. It's Carvana, for goodness sake. It's not just a dealer. It's Carvana. Okay? You can't turn on the TV. You can't turn on the internet and not see a Carvana ad, for goodness sake. Okay,
you can't drive without seeing a Carvana ad. They got
their billboards are everywhere. So it was like they slandered all car dealers when it's just one. It's Carvana,
also affectionately referred to as Carvuna from.
But when they went more deeply into it, this nice young lady bought an Elantra.
Yeah.
Okay. And over a year ago, it's been 455 days, and they still haven't provided her with a title and plates. Okay. They've issued 4 temporary registrations in the state of Texas where they're allowed to issue 1. Okay. God knows how many laws they've circumvented. And now they still haven't figured out how to get her a title. So they're going to be kind enough and gracious enough to unwind the deal. And put her in
455 days later.
Yeah, and put her and God knows how long it's been since she's been able to drive it. But she's been making payments on a car that she can't drive. And they're going to put her into a comparable car, and all the payments that she made, they're going to apply to the new car. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll make sure this one they actually have a title for before they give it to her. But how do they make up for all the time that she couldn't drive the car? Well, how do you put a value on that? And then how do you even get away with it? And you can't use the fact that, we're just growing so rapidly.
Yeah.
Then stop growing so rapidly. Don't grow beyond your capacity to actually facilitate the job that you're supposed to do, which is to provide your customers with plates and permanent registrations for the cars that they purchased. If you can't do that, then stop selling cars.
And just to provide some more context and color here, if you go back to the YAA website, resources, blog, and if you search for Carvana here, also tomorrow we're going to be talking about it. Sorry, gang, used car prices, they went up even more. Sorry again, new car inventory levels went down even more. Not good news, but we'll be talking about it tomorrow. If you come here and you search for Carvana, we have this article. They sold someone a stolen truck. Like, You can't make this stuff up. In that case, it was a VIN cloning incident, which is like very hard to detect, but you can and should, detect these things. Anyway, how does it pass state inspection? Like, there are a lot of issues both with Carvana and, quite frankly, let's do this really quick, Pops. Live. Vroom, Better Business Bureau. Let's pull up Vroom really quick. Vroom, yep, they still have an alert from the Better Business Bureau, and I think their rating continues to go down.
Well, the good news for Vroom is it can't go much lower.
1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. I'm not saying OnStar. I'm saying
so. You know what would be good? Vroom should only sell cars in Texas, which is the Lone Star state, and they should go, we're your lone 1-star dealer.
And look, Carvana's not much better.
No.
I mean, actually, they are significantly better. They're 2 times as good, and they don't have a current alert. If you notice on Vroom, it said like current consumer alert.
Yes.
But this is, how the heck is this allowed to go on? Is really my big question. If a little person, if we did this, we'd be screwed, man. We obviously don't sell cars, but if we broke that many laws, we'd be out of business. These are like daily complaints. This is insane.
And the fact that the things never get handled, that it took a television station in Houston to do a story to get somebody at Carvana to say, well, I guess we should do something. Let's take her out of that car and put her into a different one. The amount of fines that they should get, it should be so astronomical that they would create processes so that nothing like this could ever happen again. But the fact that they'll probably only get slapped on the wrist is what allows them to go, it's worth it. It's worth just keep doing what we're doing.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You have a lot of jokes that I think you're ready to use as we transition to this story. I'm just going to pull it up on the screen. That is a ad. We're going to remove that. This is from CBS News. We talked about Hertz recently in a video. We also have a viral TikTok, so thank you to everyone who follows us on TikTok. Dozens of customers allege Hertz had them falsely arrested over rental cars reported stolen. Quote, "It was just terrifying." We could watch it, Dad, if you'd like, but what was your take on this when you read that headline and listened to the article?
Well, the good news is when you rent a car from Hertz, you might be renting a car that somewhere along the line Hertz had reported as a stolen vehicle. And even though they got the car back so that they could rent it again, they never informed the local or any authorities that it's no longer considered a stolen vehicle. So you could be pulled over for driving a stolen vehicle. You could get Hertzed in a sense. I mean, that's the latest thing. I mean, these poor people, they had 2 people in the TV piece, yeah. And I mean, the guy got pulled over. The cops had their guns trained on him. Okay, and he's saying, well, it can't be a stolen vehicle. I've got the rental agreement in the car, in the truck. Take a look at it. And the cops actually called Hertz to say, well, he's got a valid rental agreement. You need to have a better process. Meanwhile, the guy was scared to death. And then another gentleman in Philadelphia, thank God he was smart enough every time he would call, because he told him when he rented this truck, it was going to be a long-term rental. And they told him, well, just call every Monday and let us know that you want to extend it. And we will put a new credit card charge through. And he saved all those calls. He recorded all the calls. He had receipts from his credit card company that it was paid for. And yet the cops arrested him in front of his house. Okay. Because the truck had been months before reported as stolen. Now Hertz, of course, the customer-centric company that they are.
You got to show both sides of any story, Dad.
Yes, the customer, they said, well, there's 165 people that have made this claim that they've been falsely accused of driving in a stolen Hertz vehicle. And they're represented by attorneys. And Hertz's response to this, well, this is just a bunch of attorneys that are patently misleading the courts as to what's happened. Hertz will never admit that they effed up. They just won't. Their customer service is such that they don't care about the customer. They don't care if they don't care if you get stopped because they reported a vehicle stolen and never reported that it was recovered. It's just pure nonsense. So, if you get accused of driving a stolen rental car, you've been Hertzed, my friend.
That was good. I like that. I like that. Where was it in here? There was someone in the chat. Jeannie saying probably shouldn't buy a car from Hertz either. Same issue. I wouldn't be as concerned about that issue with Hertz if they're selling it. My concern is it's a rental car, and so who knows what's actually reported back on the Carfax, things like that.
Yes. Yeah, and so much of their rental car fleet is late model used cars that they've recently purchased at the auctions because they can't get new cars to add to their fleets. I mean, that's one of the major things we read about comments about Hertz recently is how pathetic the quality of the vehicles are that they're renting. That they're filthy, they're dented, they've got issues. That's because they're buying used cars to put into their rental car fleet.
Yeah, and if you didn't hear the story of Kate Klonick, I'm actually just going to pull it up on the screen really quickly, and I'll toss the link in the chat. I posted this back over on TikTok, which, Dad, TikTok is insane. I've got 15,000 followers. It's nuts. But this story from Kate Klonick right here, 2.5 million views. She's a lawyer, and essentially you don't screw around with a New York City lawyer and not honor your reservation contract. Going to small claims court, considering a class action suit, all with Hertz. All of the momentum they had coming off of that, we're going to buy 100,000 Teslas and look, Tom Brady's on our team, so we're going to go win a Super Bowl championship. I feel like a lot of that, if you're an informed consumer, you're realizing, okay, no, I'm good. I'm going to pass on Hertz.
Yeah, maybe the money that they're spending to have Tom Brady as a spokesperson for their electric vehicles that they're going to be offering, maybe they should have taken that money and improved their processes as to how they report cars stolen or recovered. Maybe they should have taken some of that money and put it towards customer service and customer satisfaction. And I don't know, training their staff into how to keep a customer for life as opposed to having the customer arrested for life.
So let's end today's show on a high note, which is, well, actually it's a low note, but it's
not a high note.
Man buys used car for $17,000. Days later, it needs $15,000 in repairs. I really should have played. Let me do it right now.
Really? You gotta be kidding me.
Pops, I know you're passionate about this subject. Kimberly, you are as well. What should this gentleman have done?
Well, first of all, he shouldn't have been looking at a high mileage 2012 BMW X Drive. That's first of all. But what he should have done when he decided to look at it was to get a pre-purchase inspection. There is no reason on God's green earth, assuming the earth is still green in most parts, that you wouldn't get a pre-purchase inspection. And the reason is twofold. You want to protect yourself, and in a sense, you want to put the dealer on notice that you know what the hell you're doing. There's no such thing as an older BMW that isn't a money pit. So at the very and the response from the Dodge dealership where this guy bought this car was, "We're a Dodge dealership. What do we know about BMWs?"
I mean, come on.
Yeah, we encourage our customers to go get a pre-purchase inspection. So it's shame on the dealer for not doing any work to the vehicle prior to putting it up for sale, but bigger shame on the customer for not protecting his own interest by getting a pre-purchase inspection. So the whole thing, it's always important to get a pre-purchase inspection. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't buy used cars online, or in this case, you shouldn't have bought a used car in person without the PPI. I'm off my soapbox now.
I mean, what he said.
All right. Two final shots so we can make this a high note. We partnered with Lemon Squad. They offered us, hey, if you refer someone to us, we'll give you 10% kickback. And I said, we don't want the 10% kickback. We want a 10% discount for our members. Join yaa.com/inspection. That'll get you 10% off on a Lemon Squad pre-purchase inspection benefit for you. And also, if you end up buying a vehicle service contract, the extended warranty from YAA on your used car will pay for the pre-purchase inspection. So that's a good way to get a free pre-purchase inspection if you end up buying the VSC through us. In this case, for this poor gentleman, yeah, that's just pre-purchase inspections. We don't make money. We just tell you, like, do it. It makes sense.
What do you do? What do you do though if the dealership says, yeah, but we're going to sell this tomorrow? You know, there's this time constraint thing. So you just have to be prepared to walk away from that then.
Bingo. And there are dealerships out there that won't let you or won't help facilitate doing a pre-purchase inspection. And that is the first red flag that you should say to yourself, I'm not buying a car here.